Now I'm going to show you my little magic box that I made a few years ago. And I know that each of the schools have got one of these little magic boxes, and I hope that you're playing with them because they're really good things to use and to learn from. Okay, who knows what these animals are? Did someone say goannas? Yeah, they're goannas and they're walking through the bush. Okay? So I'm going to show you all the really cool things that is in my magic box. Okay, who knows what one of these are? Did everyone say boomerang? And remember earlier I showed you how to make a boomerang. Does everyone still remember how to make our boomerang? Remember we got our axe, we cut into the branch and we made our boomerang. Okay, so in our little magic box we can play with the boomerang. And if we get that other boomerang that's in there, we can make music, can't we? Okay, so we can use our boomerangs to make music. And what did the boomerang used to be used for? Did someone say we used to throw it? Yes, we used to throw it and catch food and stuff. Okay? And sometimes they used to play sport with it. They used to see who could throw it the furthest and the highest as well. Okay, and the boomerang, sometimes it does come back. Okay? So boomerangs, very, very important for Aboriginal people. So I want you to play with the boomerang in our little magic box. So the other thing we got in our magic box is a message stick. And you know, a message stick is very, very important because a message stick used to have on there certain messages that would travel to certain places and tell people about. We might be telling someone that lives a long, long time ago that to come over to our country and we're going to have a party. We're going to have a celebration. Okay, so a message stick, it was used to put symbols on that would go and tell the other people a long way away about something very important. Okay, so each of these, this magic box got one plain one and one coloured one. And maybe you can colour and put something in there that has your own message. Okay, so message sticks all been around for a long, long time for Aboriginal people. Okay, what else have we got in here? Oh yes, some of these. Remember we made these earlier. Who can tell me what they're called? Did I hear someone say clapsticks? Yes, clapstick. And do you remember how we used to make them? Remember the big clapsticks that I made and we made? Okay, we get our axe and we go over to the tree branch and we cut into the axe, into the sticks to make our clapsticks, okay? So we can sit around and clap our clapsticks just like the Aboriginal people used to do in the bush, okay? So there's our clapsticks. Okay, oh, I've got some really cool animals in here I want to show you. Okay, so who knows what this animal is? This animal walks around in the bush, it's got a very big long neck. Did someone say emu? Yes, it's an emu. And what about this animal? Can someone tell me what this animal is? Yes, it's like a lizard. It's called a goanna. And just like on my t-shirt here, this is a goanna. Where do you think the goanna lives? Does the goanna live in a house? No, it doesn't live in a house. Does the goanna live in the shops? No. Did someone say the goanna lives in the bush? Yes, the goanna lives in the bush, doesn't he? Okay, what about this animal? Did someone say turtle? A turtle. And where do you think a turtle lives? Does a turtle live in the classroom? No, a turtle doesn't live in the classroom. Does a turtle live in the water? Yeah, it lives in the water. And where's the water at? In the bush, that's right. So the turtle lives in the bush. Oh, this is one of my favourite animals. What's this animal? Did someone say kangaroo? What do you think a kangaroo eats? Does a kangaroo eat ice cream? No, kangaroo doesn't eat an ice cream. Does a kangaroo eat lollipops? No, kangaroo doesn't eat lollipops. The kangaroo eats some grass from the ground, doesn't it? Okay. And where does a kangaroo live? In the bush, that's right. Oh, what about this animal? It's got very big long spikes on its back. It's called a echidna. Okay, and the echidna, what does a echidna eat? Did someone say ants? Yeah, echidna eats ants, that's right. And we got this animal here who lives under the ground. Big fat wombat. Okay? So the next thing I want to show you in my magic box is a way that we can make a story. And these are called story blocks. And I'm going to tell you a story about that's very, very old and comes from a long, long time ago, and a story that my grandfather told me. And it was a story that his grandfather and so on talked about for a long, long time. Because the Aboriginal people, they used to draw in the sand, didn't they? Okay, they used to draw symbols like this in the dirt to tell a story. So not like the English way where we learn how to write ABC. The Aboriginal people used to use symbols like that to tell a story. So this story is about my grandfather, and that's a boy symbol. See how that one's a boy? And if we find the girl, see, it's different, isn't it? That one goes over and the girl one goes under. Okay, so my story starts with my grandfather, and he's right there at his, and he's at his place. See, this one is a symbol for a place. So my grandfather's living at his place. Okay, and you know, one day he thought it was a really nice day and he wanted to go for a walk into the bush, and he went walking down an old track. See that? That's a symbol. Does that look a bit like a track or like a road? Yeah, of course it does. And that's what the word track spells like. Okay, so my grandfather was at his place and wanted to go down into the bush along an old track. And when he was walking down the old track, and all of a sudden from out under a tree jumped a kangaroo. See, that's a symbol for a kangaroo track. When he's walking on the ground, that's the symbol, or that's his footmark that he leaves on the ground. Okay, so that's a kangaroo. So he's seen the kangaroo and he kept walking down the track a little bit more, and then he's seen this goanna running 100 miles an hour through the bush. So there's the symbol for the goanna. And you know the goanna, see how there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, that's his toes. So a goanna only has 3 toes. How many toes does people have? We've got 5 toes, haven't we? But the old goanna, he's only got 3 toes. So when he walks through the ground, that's the symbol that his foot leaves in the dirt. So my grandfather was at his place. He went walking down the old track, seen the kangaroo jump out in front of him. Then he seen a goanna running through the bush 100 miles an hour. And then he seen over in the distance an emu. And that's the track for an emu. And once again, the emu's got 3 toes. Okay? So he's seen an emu over in the distance walking through the bush as well. And you know, all of a sudden, a big storm started coming over. And when it started, the storm got closer and closer, it started to rain. And that's when it rains, if you look down on the ground, it leaves little dots everywhere, doesn't it? So that's a symbol for rain. Okay, so my grandfather started to get a bit wet. So he went underneath a tree and he hid there for a while until the big storm went over. And then he decided he was getting a little bit thirsty, so he went down to the river. Okay, and when he went down to the river, see, that's a symbol for the water. Does that look like water? Of course it looks like water. So when he went down to the water to get a drink, he seen his friend down there, Mary. And remember, this is the symbol for the girl. So Mary was down at the river too. You know, they said, let's sit down here for a while and have a bit of a talk. So they sat down there and they were laughing and having a really good time. And then they looked up in the sky, and because it stopped raining and the storm went away, up in the sky was a beautiful rainbow. And that's a symbol for a rainbow. Okay? So that was the story that my grandfather told me, and he drew it in the sand. Just like all those symbols are right there. And maybe you can do a different story. Maybe you've got a story about mum or dad or grandma or grandpa, or even a story about the school. And you can use these story blocks to tell your story. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is how to colour in and how to draw things. Who loves colouring in? I love colouring in. And what's your favourite colour? You know, my favourite colour is red. Who likes red? Who likes yellow? Who likes blue? Anyway, whatever colour you like, maybe you can use this colour in book that I'm going to give you to colour in some beautiful pictures of animals in the bush. And who can tell me what this is? Remember, we made one of them today. Did everyone say boomerang? So maybe you can colour in the boomerang. Or maybe we can colour in, what's this animal? Whoops. What's this animal? Did everyone say bird? Where does the bird live? Did someone say in the trees? Yeah, the bird lives in the trees. So maybe we can colour in a little yellow bird or a red bird or something like that, and some green leaves. And what's this up here? The sun. What colour's the sun? Did everyone say yellow? Okay, so maybe when you're colouring in, you can colour in those sorts of things. Oh, I know the little girls are going to like this animal. What's this animal? Flies through the bush. Yeah, a beautiful butterfly. Maybe you can use your favourite colours for the butterfly. Oh, what about this animal? Jumps around through the bush. There's the kangaroo. What colour's a kangaroo? He can be brown, he can be grey, it can even be a white kangaroo. So maybe you can colour the kangaroo there, a green tree, a brown bark, and stuff like that. And what about this animal? Oh, it's a cool animal. Did everyone say koala? And what does a koala eat? Does it eat them eucalyptus leaves that we had earlier? Of course it does. Okay, so the koala's having some leaves to eat. Oh, yum, 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 yum. And there's some emus, and the emus are like grey or brown. You can colour in those. There's our big fat wombat who lives under the ground. He's like a browny colour. There's some birds. This bird is like a finch. This one's like a cockatoo. And that's like a magpie. Okay? And we've got some other animals in here, some more emus. Okay? So I want you to go and colour in some of the things in the colour in book, and what you can do on the other side with the box, with our magic box, is that you paint on one side or colour in on one side, and on the other side you might get a pencil and trace around the turtle and make a turtle that way. Okay, and then colour in that turtle. Okay, so I hope you've had a really good time listening to me. I hope you've learned something about my magic box, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. And please look after yourself and look after mum and dad and take care of yourself. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you.